Women, we're not taught to build wealth. That's really no secret. And yet in 2021, more than 19% of home buyers were single women. Single men only accounted for 9% of home buyers in 2021. So women are far outpacing men when it comes to buying property, but we just don't seem to be talking enough about that particular fact. As a woman who has invested in a multi-generational property for my own family, I want to share with you my tips for gaining wealth through real estate. Now, I realize these tips are not really going to be very different for men than they are for women, but this video is not just going to focus on the fact that investing, we simply just seem to think that's for men and not for us as women. I'm also a South Jersey real estate agent, and I've helped several women buy property. Keep watching to hear my client Erin's story, which is super inspirational about how she bought a home and is now enjoying all of the benefits of that. Current South Jersey market holds great opportunity for us as women to start investing in real estate and gaining wealth through it. Let's dig into the 4 ways you can build wealth through real estate. So if you're gearing up to buy your very first property, you've probably been looking at cute little single family homes, maybe even a townhome or a condo. But let's talk about house hacking. So what I want you to think about is maybe consider a multifamily home, a property that has more than one dwelling unit. It could be a duplex, which has 2, a triplex, which has 3, and on, and maybe even a small apartment complex. So this might seem a little bit unorthodox, but it gives you the opportunity to live in one unit and rent out the others. Imagine you've purchased a duplex, you're living in one unit, and you're collecting from your tenant $1,700 a month from the other unit. That could possibly cover your entire mortgage payment. So that would allow you to save in 18 months $30,000, which you could then use to put towards the down payment on your next property. And if you move into that property, you could then rent out your second unit and pull in $3,400 per month from that duplex. The other perk of investing in a multifamily home like a duplex is you can put down a lower down payment. If you were to buy an out and out investment property, you would have to put 25% down. If you are renting one unit out while using the other unit as your primary residence, there are many conventional loan programs that will allow you to put down as little as 5%, but with an FHA, you could put down 3.5%. And if you're worried about, the maintenance, obviously, of having a tenant there, you can always have a property management company take care of those things for your tenant. So the second way is with REITs. What is this? It's a real estate investment trust. It's a company that works with income producing properties such as apartment buildings, that kind of thing. And the perk of investing in this is that you're not putting all of your eggs in one basket, like if you were buying one rental property. It's really an investment in a portfolio of assets. So really, you're becoming a stockholder and you earn a share of the income that is produced without actually having to go out and physically buy a property yourself. So because this is a pool of numerous investors, your risk is really reduced. There can also be some interesting properties in your portfolio. You could have like a hotel, warehouse, even cell phone towers. I never even thought about that, but that's an interesting one. And because you're not physically buying the real estate, you might wonder, why would someone even invest in these as opposed to maybe putting something in a high yield savings account? The main reason why people do this is because there's an element of risk. So you typically get higher returns than you would if you just put your money into a high interest savings account. Publicly traded REITs are listed on all of the major stock exchanges, so you could purchase shares through an online broker like Charles Schwab or Fidelity Investments. And if you have a 401k or an IRA, you might actually already have some of these in your investment portfolio. Number 3 is syndications. You want to think even bigger. Syndications are the way to go. Real estate syndication is when a group of investors pool together their capital to jointly purchase larger real estate properties. This could be like an apartment complex, a mobile home complex, a storage unit. The options are endless. We're thinking big here. It's a little bit overwhelming to think that if you've never invested in real estate, but maybe it's part of your 5 to 10 year investment plan. Let's say you start by house hacking from point number 1. You're on the property ladder, and then you're building up a portfolio of 3 to 5 properties over 7 years. Your next step might be, hey, I want to really start pulling in some money, so I'm going to go with syndication. There's a variety of ways you can make money through syndication. You should see a fixed return on your invested capital or a share of the profits from the general operations of the business. And don't forget, when the property or the business is sold down the line, you're also going to receive a windfall from the sale as well. Networking is going to be really, really important because you're going to want to know who you can trust your capital with. You don't want to invest it with just anybody. So the South Jersey Real Estate Investors Association and the South Jersey Real Estate Investor Group would be 2 great places to start. Start attending meetings and share your interest. So there's a lot of moving parts when it comes to syndication, so you're going to want to make sure you hire a really good real estate attorney before you do anything else. So number 4 is buy a house, make it a home, and stay put. Well, what do I mean by that? If buying an apartment building isn't for you, you can still build generational wealth by buying a home and staying put. Long-term ownership of a home is the main way that Americans today build wealth through real estate. With longer-term appreciation over time while buying down your mortgage, you're really building equity in that home. Say you bought a home in 2000 in a place like Haddonfield, and maybe that price was $525,000. That same home today just sold for over $1.1 million. That's a lot of equity going into your pocket, helping you to build generational wealth. If you still want other options, there's other ways to add equity to your home. Maybe you add an additional bathroom, which could add thousands to your equity. Or if you live near a desirable area like a city or an attraction, maybe you rent out a bedroom through an Airbnb. There's a lot of different ways that we can make money by buying a home, keeping it, and cashing in on that equity later on down the road. So earlier I said to make sure you stay tuned for Erin's story, and it's one that I use all the time in talking to my single women clients. I met Erin online. We really started to talk about what made sense for her. She's in her early 20s. She works in the medical industry. She wanted a home here in Collingswood, and we toured several properties. She was very open-minded, and she decided to purchase a property that needed some work, a twin home, and it needed, trust me, a lot of work, but she could see the potential and wanted to put roots down in the area, realizing it was going to be a really good investment. So fast forward 2 years, she's updated the kitchen, she updated the bathroom, painting, did a few other things, and now that property today is worth $100,000 more than when she purchased it just 2 years ago. She definitely bought at the right time, but if she had never gotten on the property ladder, if she had waited, she would never have had the opportunity to get into something, put some sweat equity into it, and now she's sitting on over $100,000 in equity, and she's in her early 20s. Imagine what kind of financial independence and independence as a woman you can gain by having that amount of wealth built up in your home by simply seizing the opportunity. Not to mention all of the different tax write-offs that she now has. She gets to write off her mortgage interest as well as the property taxes. She's not done. Guess what she did? She decided to rent out a bedroom to one of her good friends. That friend is now helping with all of her mortgage payments. Now she's sitting on a ton of equity. She has a lower mortgage payment. Watch out for that girl. She's a force to be reckoned with. I'm really hoping that this video has fired you up about investing in property to start building wealth. It's something I'm super passionate about for single women because we need to empower one another to do things that we wouldn't typically think about doing, and investing in real estate is one of them. If you want more information about wealth building and real estate tips, here's 3 women that you can follow. Highly recommend them. And please don't forget to follow JFK Living for advice and tips about buying, selling, and investing in South Jersey. I'm Mel from the JFK Living team, and if you're ready to start talking about how you can gain wealth in real estate, you can contact me at 609-304-4855, and just remember, this is living JFK Living.